tracks today.
Yeah. I need them bands, run it up fast, stuffing them shits in the safe. Got me a spot out the way, nigga just trying to be safe. Leaving the house with the glizzy, nigga.
Let's get to the sports talk.
All right, stay with me. I'm going to say that it might make it a little higher chances that they'll have a successful team deep in the playoffs. I know that's crazy. I know that Boogie Cousins is I think that they might have better chances. I know Boogie Cousins is an all-NBA type talent, and having him on your team is good for depth. But I'm going to say this. I think that this team is better with LeBron at the 4. They have a glut of forwards. I think if you can move LeBron to the 4, which means you move Anthony Davis to the 5, I think this team is better off. And Boogie Cousins is not the type of person who's going to sit on the bench. If Boogie Cousins is healthy, he plays the 5, Anthony Davis moves to the 4, LeBron moves to the 3, then I don't know what you do with Kuzma and Danny Green. So I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that they might be better off without Boogie Cousins on this roster.
No, man, you're not. You're not better off with less talent. You just never are. Now, look, what did the Lakers just lose? I think they lost, for one thing, and maybe it's even the lesser thing, Dominique, what you just said, the word you just laid out there, which was depth. I don't think odds are Boogie was going to end up really, honestly, one of the top 2 or 3 players on this roster. When it came to playoff time, this thing was going to be about AD, LeBron, and Danny Green as the third most important player. But that doesn't make Boogie unimportant. You need that 4th option.
Boogie is like one of them key pieces for this team. But they going to be fine because they still got 2 of their other key pieces on that team. It's just like the injuries, man. It just like keep happening for him, keep happening to him. It just seems like ever since that injury in New Orleans, he ain't been the same. He just been getting hurt left and right. It's like it's messing with his career. It's like, man, like hopefully whenever he come back from this, man, hopefully a team pick him up next year. It's just like, man, the injuries, man, will slow you down and make teams questionable to even bring you in. Like, it messed with your career. And I just feel bad for him because he got another opportunity, but the injuries again, it's like ever since that injury happened to him, it just been hurt after hurt. And yeah, he one of the valuable players on this Lakers team. Like, they still gonna be a good team, still gonna make a run to that championship. It just, but he just one of them key pieces that's part of this. And then you need depth to go farther too. You need a bench too. Like, I'm not saying he's gonna be on the bench. I'm saying, like, you need your depth in the league so people can get rest and be ready to come back in. It's like it's a whole lot, but they still gonna be a good team.
That guy who can play the 5, because Anthony Davis doesn't want to play the 5. Anthony Davis said when he was introduced as a Laker that he wants to be a 4. He prefers playing a 4. So
that's why this injury might help. I know he doesn't want to play the 5, but with an injury, then you have to push him down to 5. Do you think they won't be better off? That Anthony Davis won't have better mismatches at the 5 against other centers? Same for LeBron to be said at the 4 against other power forwards. I feel like they're better off that way.
What I'm telling you is, at a minimum, what the Lakers have lost is the depth of having the 4th scoring option on their squad. Maybe it bumps Kuzma up. I don't know if LeBron goes to the 4. Maybe Kuzma moves into the starting lineup, but that reduces your 2nd squad. I think that more importantly, perhaps, the other thing they lost is the wild card that Boogie Cousins represented, Dominique. I mean, this was a guy who last year came into game 2. What did he get? He got 11, 10, and 6, right? It was important points. It was important energy for the Golden State Warriors in game 2 of the NBA Finals, helped them in that game. And then the last time we saw Boogie with AD, it was good. I mean, this is a guy who was shooting 35% from 3. So this is a guy that you could feed the ball into at the post, who could distribute for other guys, open up shooting for other guys, but he could also stretch the floor. This is that, by the way, so that's the ceiling, right? At a minimum, they lose the depth of having a 4th scoring option, a guy who can play the 5 and allows AD to play the position that he wants. At a maximum, you lost the wild card of what
Yeah, like, he could bring a whole lot to this team, man. It just, man, stuff happens out of the blue. Like, you won't think what happened to you. It's like, that's another part of their scoring. It's like, it's just like he like one of the odd people that could bring his career back up. Like, he was going to bring a lot of scoring with them to help them out. It just, now, we don't know what's going to happen to his career. Because there's a lot going on. He got so many injuries going on with him. We don't know how everything going to shape up for him. Once he get healthy, man, we got to see who going to bring him in. It's like, hope he get a speedy recovery. And just like, it just getting hurt, like, back to back. And then, like, he is like the wild card, man. Like, the stuff he could bring to this team, he like bring that value to them and everything.
He could be or return to next to AD.
Right, I love Boogie Cousins as a player, but let's not pretend like everything that comes with Boogie Cousins is positive. Like I'm not even going to concern myself with like locker room or off the court issues because I don't think that's a huge deal. But I do think it's a huge deal that he's not great on defense. That hurts this team, and I think JaVale McGee is no Boogie Cousins, but JaVale McGee is a better rim protector than Boogie Cousins. I don't think McGee should start again. I think that we should move everybody down a spot, and McGee will get more minutes on the defensive end of the court, or at least get more minutes and be more impactful on the defensive end of the court than I think Boogie Cousins would ever be. I don't think necessarily that, I think I agree, the depth is nice. It's nice for them to have an offensive production out of somebody who would take some of the burden off of LeBron James and Anthony Davis. They're going to miss that. I'm not going to pretend like that's not going to be big, but I do think that it doesn't cripple their team. They have some decent players, or at least some decent shooters on that roster that will be able to fill in on some of that scoring.
I think it significantly jeopardizes their chance for an NBA title. I think it diminishes who the Los Angeles Lakers, not who they are, but who we thought they could be, because they're still an experiment on paper. We still don't know how this collection of talents is going to come together. But let me say this for a moment.
How much does it diminish their chances, would you say?
Well, I mean, they were already, in my mind, behind the Clippers. I think you have to factor in the Denver Nuggets. I don't think they're getting enough attention, enough respect for the team that they are. I mean, I'd say, Charlie, that this drops the Lakers into like that 4 or 5 range, not the number 2 range that so many people thought they were in. But let me say something about Boogie for a moment. You bring up his effect off the court, Dominique. I think it's fair, and I think I've been critical of Boogie at his various stops across the NBA. But let me just say this for a minute, man. Dude,
like you just said, we don't know how this season gonna go for them. They still gonna be a good team. They still have the 2 top. They still have the 2 top players on their roster. Like, don't panic because you see one player go down. They still gonna make it deep in the playoffs. They still have good players to get them there. They had the right pieces around the 2 players and the stuff that fit them. It's shooting, and it fit their team right now. We don't know how everything gonna go. We don't know how everybody's season gonna go. We gotta wait to see.
Can't catch a break, not lately. Yeah. And I don't know what it is, man. You got to feel for a guy now that it's been an Achilles, a quad, and now a knee. And for those of us out here in the regular working world, the kind of money the NBA players make, there's really no room for sympathy or empathy when it's a little less, a couple million less. But the dude missed out on his major payday, He missed out on every major payday that he was about to get because of these injuries. And now he has a chance. And it seems to me, Dominique, like there's been some humility. Like he's dealt with some of this. I mean, he just signed for not very much with the Lakers at all. After signing for what is it, $3.5 million with the Warriors. So the dude has been dealt some humility, and now he has to deal with this as well. I feel for Boogie as a person. I think that needs to be said.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a couple million lost for him. It's devastating the amount of money he's lost. But not only that, I think the players, while money is important to players, they care about it. It's also a life's work. You put your life's work into getting to this spot where you're at this age, where you're peak of your game. You're on the best roster potentially that you've been on, which would have been last year and potentially also this year. And you have a chance to kind of cement your legacy, to win a title, to get a ring, to have that take.
See, I just said that. They just could have got his career back on track. And then this happened. Like, he can't catch a break worth for nothing. As soon as you get another opportunity at something, boom, another injury came. It's like he trying to get his career back on now. Now we don't know how his career gonna go. Because he got so many injuries going on with his body. We don't know how these GMs gonna look at him now.
Taken away from you, to be a part of, to have that taken away from you year after year, to have an opportunity to be a part of something like that's devastating. Money aside, I think everyone, even though not very many people can relate to, none of us on this show can relate to that amount of money. All of us can relate to the idea of having a dream and working very hard to getting to the cusp of it, and then having it taken away 3 separate times over the course of just about 12 months. 3 really major injuries that people have a hard time coming back from over the course of a couple months. So while I do think the Lakers might be better off if they change around their roster, I think what's happened to Boogie Cousins is a travesty.
Now back to the Lakers for a moment. I think it's absolutely crazy to say they're going to be better off. I mean, I think it's here, let me ask you this. Let me put it to you this way. Let's draw this picture. NBA champion Los Angeles Lakers. Let's go ahead and play out this coming season and in our minds envision Los Angeles Lakers 2019-2020 NBA champions. I believe in that, what we're imagining, what we're envisioning, I believe Boogie Cousins would have played an integral role. I'm not telling you that he would have been again the first, second.
It's just like, yes, that's like a key value of that team, man. It's like he brings so much to that team. Minor the injuries and everything, with his scoring, that's a big part that can help them. Help them out. Now, they gotta reset, they line up and see where everybody could go now, like who they want to move down or up a spot a little bit. Reshape they start lining up and everything. Like, there's just so much going on right now, and they gonna have to figure that out before the season starts.
Second or third best player on that squad, but I believe in the scenario in which they win it all, he would have played an integral role. And now you take that integral role out.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports